Good morning to all. It's my pleasure and honor to be with you here today to witness the coming together of experts from both fields of climate change and biodiversity for the official launch of the ASEAN Climate and Biodiversity Initiative, ACBI, a partnership between the Manila Observatory and the ASEAN Centre for Biodiversity. Likewise, I'm very happy to witness the keen group of Philippine media who are here participating in the roundtable discussion later on. This is a first of its kind in the country and in ASEAN as well. In this time of the climate emergency, working in silos is no longer effective. To abate the crisis, we must pursue transdisciplinary collaboration and action and engage stakeholders in climate action. I failed to recognize, if I may, one of our research fellows at the observatory previously, also Dr. Emma Porio, very important in terms of the social aspect of adaptation as well. The Philippines is among the most vulnerable to climate-related weather events and has really been on the top of the list of disaster risk rankings. I should say at the DNR we have adopted a new perspective because of our mega diverse nature as a country. We are part of the global climate solution, and we have much to offer both to our country as well as the rest of the world. As highlighted in the latest IPCC report, we know that adverse impacts of climate change will intensify, and over time, unless we are prudent and immediately act and in a concerted fashion, our fates are sealed. We need to address climate change decisively by ensuring resilience, sustainable development, poverty reduction, low carbon economic growth all happen for our country. And very importantly, in order to do this, we need to protect, enhance, and value our biodiversity as a source of nature-based solutions to our crisis. Climate change and biodiversity have a causal nexus where one directly influences the other, but in many different ways. And I should say that in conversations with different developed country representatives in both the Kunming negotiations as well as in the COP, we have asked developed countries to recognize the common but differentiated responsibility in the documentation. The unwillingness of some countries we have had to deal with, but we've asked them to actually accept that climate change, biodiversity, and human development are inextricably linked, and therefore we assume as implied that there are responsibilities and accountabilities in that linkage. According to a study, biodiversity in Southeast Asia is gravely imperiled by massive habitat modifications, forest fires, and the exploitation of wildlife. An estimated 24 to 63% of endemic species, and this is particularly important for us in the Philippines, in the ASEAN region, are actually at risk of extinction. This represents a good number of vertebrate species, including 66% of the region's birds and 85% of the region's mammals, as well as a good number of the species of vascular plants. In addition, our reefs have been estimated to lose between 70 to 90% globally at a 1.5 degree, and of course more at a 2 degree centigrade global warming. Studies have also noted that climate-related local extinctions were significantly higher in tropical species than in temperate species. When I was here at the Manila Observatory, we had the opportunity to gain some knowledge on the science of climate and disaster risks. I wish to acknowledge the work that was done on Cordex by both Dr. Faye Cruz and Dr. Gemma Narisma, both of whom have been instrumental in producing the data sets for the Philippines and for collaboration in the Southeast Asian region. From a few institutions, Cordex started with as few as 7, I would say, institutions, and today there are more than 14 institutions, including research institutions beyond the Asian region that have actually partnered on this experiment. So we're very grateful to both Dr. Gemma and Dr. Faye for actually spearheading all of this work. We sought to bring scientific approaches to bear on sound downstream impacts, recognizing complex challenges on the ground. This entailed responding to the needs of various stakeholders, ranging from national to local government, academe, humanitarian, multilateral and development agencies, corporate foundations, and different members of the private sector, as well as non-government organizations. We realized that science must influence policy, decision-making, planning, and governance. At the DNR, we continue the advocacies of resilient and sustainable development, focusing on the environment and climate nexus. What is important to us at this point is what the questions are, not so much as what the answers inevitably will be. So that process of exploration and inquisition, if you will, interrogation of the different social, physical, cultural, anthropological impacts of climate change are among the concerns of the DNR as much as the impacts on the environment and the different ecosystems. Before I end, I'd like to congratulate both the Manila Observatory and the ASEAN Centre for Biodiversity for this groundbreaking collaboration. I thank you for listening to my kakulitan and coming together and marrying each other. The Philippine media who are here with us today are witnesses to this whole of society and hopefully at some point a whole of government approach. We are here to actually deliver the message in terms of the evidence that will inform policy and action. This approach is possible, and we can find effective solutions to the most pressing and complex issues of the world if we work together. So thank you very much and good morning.